Patrick, go ahead.
Hi, Kyle. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you, or hear you, I guess.
I guess basic question, how you doing? I mean, Buddy keeps us kind of up to date on your progress, but from your vantage point, where are you now, just in terms of your mood, your throwing program, all of that?
I feel great, first and foremost, and that's the main thing that I'm happy about. I've tried to stay as positive as I possibly can throughout this process. I've been through this a couple times with some injuries, never with an arm, but keeping a positive mindset about the whole rehab process, getting through it, doing everything correctly, making sure that, when I'm able to come back, I feel 100%. So right now, that's right where I'm at. Got another bullpen today. Excited for it, ready to go, and ready to just continue to build and get back to helping out my team.
Buddy said the last time he threw a bullpen, I think he said around 85% effort level is the way he characterized it. Is that how you saw it?
Yeah, that's about where I was at. I'm at the point where I can start testing some things, start pushing myself a little bit, just to make sure it's there, and I have been, and it's there. Everything feels good. I'm not guarding it at all, letting it eat a little bit, but overall, shoulder feels great, body feels great. So we're just going to keep moving forward with this process.
I know it's impossible to put an exact timeline on this, but fair to say you expect to return to the big leagues at some point this season.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we're pushing, but at the same time being cautious. Obviously, we want to get me back as soon as possible, but at the same time, we want to make sure that I'm 100% healthy, have no setbacks, have no lingering issues or an idea that something might not be right. We want to make sure that I'm 100%. So when I do come back, I can roll right into it and try and get as deep into ball games as I possibly can.
I was there that day at Hohokam, and it looked really bad. And I know Buddy was scared. Can you tell us what the pain level was and what went through your mind as you were walking off the mound that day?
Yeah, it didn't feel good. It felt like a knife got put in the back of my shoulder right when I released that curveball. It's no feeling that you want to have or you want to see a teammate have or someone you're playing against have. It's kind of like Buddy said, it's a gut wrenching feeling because in the moment you don't know exactly what's wrong. Thankfully, when we got the MRI scan back, it was best case scenario with the injury. It could have been a heck of a lot worse. So we're glad that the injury is what it is and wasn't anything more drastic where I'd be missing, quite a bit of time.
And one more for me before I let the other guys jump in. Did they ever figure out why it happened?
No, as the throwing motion for the human body is unnatural. So wear and tear, stuff like that, it could have been there for quite some time and it finally just went. I never had any issues leading up to it. I've only had one shoulder issue in my career, and that was my first spring training when I had a little bit of impingement in there. But yeah, I kind of came out of nowhere. It happens. And, we hope that we're doing all the steps correctly to, prevent it from happening again.
Great, Kyle. Best of luck to you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thomas Hardy.
Okay, obviously people are always nervous about timelines, but if you were to give a guess, when could you be back pitching first in a rehab game?
We haven't exactly mapped everything out right now. Myself and Doogie and Buddy were, taking things right now one step at a time, making sure that I'm feeling right, getting off a slope and able to push myself a little bit. I'm sure here in the near future, we'll probably sit down and map out a timeline for me. But right now I can't, I honestly couldn't even tell you when I would be back in a major league game.
What does it do for you to be around the club? I know you were with the club on the last road trip. You came home with them. What does it do for you to be around them?
It's great. Myself, B-Rod and Peter, we were down in Arizona and, it was eating at all three of us, not being able to be with the boys and, be around the team, feel the vibes, be there, for the wins and for the losses. It sucked. And so, we were fortunate to be able to come join the team a little earlier than expected. But to be back with them, go through things with them, be able to talk to the teammates, other pitchers, stuff like that. It's been great, and definitely happy to be here supporting my teammates.
And I guess right now the Rockies are going through some things with, the GM leaving. What is the mood around there, and what are your thoughts about it?
Mood around the clubhouse, obviously it's fresh news, but, our mindset is we have a job to do. And somewhat outside factors like that, we can't let affect us in our game on the field. So we're still doing our thing, going day to day, game by game, focusing on winning that night and doing whatever it takes to win. Me personally, I've known Jeff for quite some time. He was a farm director when I was first drafted. Obviously, majority of my career, he's been the GM. I wish him the best of luck in his future, wherever it takes him. But these things, it's a business side of baseball. This stuff happens. Decisions happen every single day in every single organization, whether they're big or small. But it goes on. It's a business side of this game that happens quite often.
I know going into spring training, you and a lot of the players felt like you could be a surprise team. Has that, just from being around, has that confidence been shaken a bit by the slow start?
No, I don't believe so. We got 162 games, and we're not even a month in yet. So we got a long ways to go. We got a lot of baseball to play. Spirits are high, rough start to the season, but there's plenty of time to get everything going, turn things around, be playing the baseball that we want to play on a consistent basis. And, we're not worried at all about it. Everyone's healthy for the most part. Everyone's playing their game. We got guys coming around like Crone, Florence crying out there. So we're excited for each other, and we know that, things are going to be all right.
As far as you're concerned, do you feel you have to change anything when you come back as far as the arm is concerned, whether it's the throwing motion, maybe not something drastic like that, but some of the arm care that you do in between starts? Is there anything that maybe you need to change a little bit?
Yeah, I believe so. And that's something that I learned through this process. Arm action, everything is going to stay the same. I'm not going to change the way I throw just because I've been doing it my whole life. But arm care wise, yeah, I believe, myself and Doogie and with our strength coaches, we're going to, continue to incorporate some of the stuff that I've been doing in the training room and in the weight room to, properly take care of my shoulder pre and post start, keep it strong, keep it healthy. That way, this injury doesn't creep up or some sort of other injury doesn't come upon me.
All right. Hey, Kyle, thanks you very much, man.
Thanks.
Go to Nick Groke.
Yeah, Kyle, you touched on this a little bit, but if you could remember the day of the injury when you're still on the field, is the pain just so blinding that you can't really think clearly, or what was your level of fear actually in the moment?
My biggest fear when it happened and when I felt the pain in the back of my shoulder is I thought I had a tear. I thought I tore something really bad. And I've never had that kind of pain in my arm before, in my shoulder really. Last time I had pain in my arm, it was in my elbow like that, and I ended up having surgery. So it's scary regardless of your pain level whenever you come out of a game, and the thing that is your livelihood no longer is operating correctly. So it was scary. A lot of thoughts were running through my mind, but once we got that MRI back and that scan came back a heck of a lot cleaner than we initially thought, it was a breath of fresh air.
So waiting for those results, it must have been brutal. Or did you start to feel better pretty quick? What was that like?
We got the results under 24 hours, I believe, and we're able to look at them and get it looked at by multiple doctors and get some different opinions on it. And they all came back with the exact same prognosis of what was going on in my shoulder. So obviously, that was a breath of fresh air, that we didn't see any tears, anything like that. It was pretty clean. It was a very, I guess you could say, fortunate injury with the circumstances. But yeah, I mean, somewhat scary, but everything kind of worked out in the best possible way.
Cool. And then, being with the team, is that really, instead of being in Scottsdale, is that really just sort of a mental boost, or are there things about your rehab that are better by you being with the team?
I think it's a little bit of both. Obviously, regardless, you want to be with the guys. You want to be around your teammates. You want to be around your best friends, and and go through the same stuff that they're going through day in and day out. It's nice to be around them. It's nice to do my rehab with them. Have them, checking in on me, myself, B-Rod, Peter, asking how we're doing, what our schedules are looking like, how we're feeling, stuff like that. So it's nice to have that camaraderie around, and everyone, pulling for you and, excited to have you back. So it's definitely nice to have that and be with the guys.
Cool. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Yep.
Owen Perkins.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle. I got a quick question on the timing and then a couple others, but what do you see as the next checkpoint that you have to hit to progress? What's the next issue?
Well, right now we're working through bullpens. Obviously I have to build my arm up again. So we're starting with bullpens right now, and that's the step that we're at. That's the step that we're focusing on. We're not looking forward right now. We're making sure that we check this off and everything feels fine, and then we'll look at the next step and we'll move on from there.
Okay, and you've kind of alluded to this already, but just to be a little broader, I mean, do you have any ballpark idea of the earliest you can see yourself back?
No. Again, I still, myself, Doogie, and Buddy, we still got to sit down and map that out. And like I said, we're taking things step by step right now, because we're making sure we're checking all the boxes, just so that when I do come back, that there's no issue. There's no issue in any of our minds thinking, he might not be ready. We're making sure that when I do come back, I'm 100%, and there's not going to be anything, in the back of our minds that could hinder me. Okay.
And in terms of coming back to be with the club, do you remember when you came back with them?
To continue my rehab?
Well, when you were down in Arizona, and then you were able to come back with the club and rehab with the club.
Yeah. So it was our first road trip when we came here for the first time.
Okay.
About a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago.
Right. So what, from being with the club in that time and watching them and being, a little bit more detached, what can you say? What's your perspective on what you're seeing from the club and how you've seen them progress over those 2 or 3 weeks that you've been with them? Couple of weeks, I guess it's been.
Obviously, we had a bit of a rough start. We had a great homestand though. Bass got going, starting pitching, continue to do their thing. Bullpens doing their thing. But seeing them from a distance and then be able to see them, up close and personal with them in the same city, it's definitely different. Seeing them from a distance, you want to be able to talk to certain guys about certain things. You want to be in there giving high fives. You want to be rooting your team on, with them. So doing that from a distance with myself, B-Rod, and Peter, it hurt all three of us. We wanted to be with our teammates. We wanted to, be around the guys. And now that we are, it's great. Like I said earlier, everyone's checking in on us, asking about our schedule, how we're feeling, how we're progressing, excited to see us back out on the field competing and helping out the ball club.
So you feel like you're able to contribute in some way by being with the guys?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the best way to put it is we're able to be here, do our part to the best of our ability, and root on our teammates.
And my last question gets back to the GM situation and Jeff. When the trade with Nolan happened, there were some people who were concerned that the team and the fans might see that as a lack of commitment to winning. Is there any sense that this subsequent move, related or not, but Jeff's move, indicates, action, that the team is taking action to further their desire to win at the club, the organization?
I think that's something that, only time will tell. Obviously this is fresh news with, Jeff stepping down. But again, I think that's something that only time will tell. But obviously our number one goal as a big league club is to win ball games every single night and do it on a consistent basis and do whatever it takes to win a ball game. And if you're a big leaguer and you don't have that mentality, you probably aren't going to last very long in this game, or you're going to be, replaced very quickly, stuff like that. So we're focused on winning. We're focused on taking care of one another and pulling for one another.
All right. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yep.
We have time for a few more. We'll go to Danielle and then Noah and then back to Patrick to finish up. Danielle, go ahead.
Hey, Kyle, I'm the new beat writer for the Gazette. Aside from throwing your bullpens, what does the rest of your rehab look like right now?
Lots of arm care stuff, strengthening the shoulder in certain areas, especially, in the area that I got injured. Doogie's pushing pretty hard to, get this as strong as it possibly can and, continue to push me in throwing programs in my bullpens so we can, really start working on that buildup with me. So a lot of stuff with, band work, weights, stuff like that is going to continue to strengthen my shoulder and guard me from where I was injured.
And your bullpen today, did you also throw 25 pitches?
I haven't thrown it yet. I got it here in about an hour or so. I'll have to talk to Doogie about the amount of pitches that I'll be throwing. But I'm sure it'll probably be a step up from my previous bullpen just because we're starting that build and got to start getting my stamina up, got to start getting that arm strength up, and we'll just continue to progress from there.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right, Noah, go ahead.
Hey, Kyle, thanks for hopping on. As with being in the clubhouse, and it seems like you've kind of stepped into more of a leadership role, can you talk about what you've seen with the two other lefties on the team right now, and Austin Gomber and Ben Bowden, especially with Gomber? He's said that you've been a big influence on him.
Yeah, it's us lefties, we're a little rare sometimes, especially with the Rockies over the past couple of years. So, adding Gomber to the rotation as another lefty, it's not only great for me, but it's great for him. It's great for our rotation as a whole. To give teams different looks where they just can't, be like, all right, we might face one lefty in a series, but other than that, we're going to get all righties. So it kind of throws that mixture in there, which is nice. But it's been great for both me and Gomber because we're both the only two lefty starting pitchers, so we get to talk about left-handed pitching a lot, and we do almost on a daily basis. And it's great. He loves to talk baseball. I love to talk baseball. We love bouncing ideas off one another, talking about hitters, talking about teams. So it's a lot of good talk between the two of us. Bowden, on the other hand, he's known him for quite some time. He's a great guy. He's getting his feet wet. He's learned this game as fast as he can. I'm excited to see him to continue to progress out of the bullpen, come in big spots and do his thing. And I know he's hungry for that job and wants to do the best that he possibly can. And I think he wears that on his shoulder.
Thank you very much.
All right, go to a couple of quick follow-ups from Patrick and Thomas. Patrick, go ahead.
Yeah, Kyle, way back in spring training prior to your injury, you were very outspoken about this team. I think you probably remember your quote. You said, "We're going to shock the world." You had a lot of belief in this team. As you mentioned, there's been injuries to you, B-Rod, some other people. Scott Oberg's not around. And the team's off to a rough start. What's your faith level in this 2021 Rockies right now?
Hasn't changed. We like I said earlier, we got 162 of these games. We're not even a month in yet. We got a long way to go. We got a lot of baseball to play. And I still believe exactly what I said in spring training. I believe in this team. I believe that we have the ability to do what it takes to get to the playoffs and win. And if people can't get behind that, then that's on them. But that's my mentality, and I believe everyone truly follows that.
Hey, Kyle, not to get into all the particulars, what is it about this group that has you believing so much? I mean, is it just being around them? Is it the spirit of the team? What is it about this group that you seem to have so much passion for?
I think because, a massive chunk of us have been together for quite some time. And another aspect is we got some young guys who, you know, kind of remind me of myself, Senza, Marquez, Mac, Hampson, you know, back 2017, 2018, when we were rookies, second year guys, where we were here, we're going to start making some noise. We're going to show people that what kind of baseball player that we are and that we can win. And you know, I see that in some of these younger guys, you know, Sheffield, Bowden, you know, Fuentes, you know, those kind of guys that are just hungry to go out, compete every single day and win. And, you know, when we don't win, you can see it in their faces. Like, man, like that sucked. Like I want to get after it tomorrow. So it's great seeing that. And I think that's going to go a long way, especially when things start clicking for us. And we can start getting rolling.
Great. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, Thomas, last questions.
Yeah, yes, as a pitcher, you know the arm inside out. So what is your injury? What part of the shoulder? What muscles? And also in your comeback, there's a double barrel question here. In your comeback, if you were to compare this to, say, an off season, what month are you in right now?
Well, I mean, I won't get into specifics of what exactly was going on my shoulder. Obviously, it was a shoulder strain, so it had to involve, you know, the muscle. You know, thankfully in the scan, we saw no tears, we saw no fraying, we saw no, you know, separation of anything. So that was good news. Your second question, what month it would be for if I were to be in the off season? You know, that's kind of tough to answer, just because one, we're not in the off season, and two, I'm coming back from an injury, so things are going to be a little bit different as opposed to what I'd be doing in the off season. I would say that I'm getting close. I'm progressing well, and that, you know, myself and Doogie are looking to push myself, but at the same time, you know, err on the side of caution, just because we want to make sure that we're not pushing too far, too hard, and that we can still hit our goal and make sure that I'm 100% when we get to